Hello students, I Kamlesh Kumar. Welcome to all of you at my YouTube channel Social Science Academy. We are studying the chapter of civics, class 8, that is the Union Government, the Legislature. This is the last video of the main content of the chapter, and here we are going to study powers and functions of the Union Parliament. So the powers and functions of the Union Parliament can be categorized in following category, and the first category is legislative powers. Though so the Parliament is the highest law making body in country. It makes laws on all subjects enlisted in the Union list, the concurrent list and residuary subjects. Under special circumstances, it can also make laws on the subjects given in state list, about which we have already talked in detail about Union list, state list, concurrent list and residuary list, who can make laws and under which circumstances we have already discussed it. So the making of law is initiated by introducing a legislative proposal for the bill other than the money bill in either of the two houses of the Parliament. So any bill except money bill can be introduced in either house of the Parliament, whether it is Lok Sabha or whether it is Rajya Sabha. Money bill can only be introduced in the Lok Sabha, and the Rajya Sabha has almost no power about money bill. So approval of both the houses is necessary for passing a bill. In case of disagreement between the two houses applicable to ordinary bills only, a majority vote is taken in the joint meeting of the both houses. So only in the case of ordinary bills the joint meeting can be called of the both houses, the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. There is no provision to hold a joint meeting in case of money bills or amendment bills. So if there is constitutional amendment bill or money bill, in that cases there will be no joint session of the Parliament. And about money bill, the Lok Sabha supersedes the Rajya Sabha. So after a bill is approved by both the houses, it is sent to the President for his or her consent. Once the consent is provided, the bills become a law. So this is the procedure, that any bill which has to become an act, it has to be passed separately by both the houses of the Parliament, and then finally it is sent to the President, and after the consent of the President, final signature of the President, it becomes an act or law. Now let us see the second power of the Parliament: control over executive. In the parliamentary form of democracy, the Council of Ministers is collectively responsible to the Lok Sabha. In case a vote of no confidence is passed against any one minister, the whole Council of Ministers has to resign collectively. The Parliament also controls the executive by asking questions. So the period when questions are asked is called question hour. Since Rajya Sabha cannot pass a vote of no confidence, Lok Sabha has more effective control over the Union executive. So already we have talked who are executive, those persons who are responsible to enforce law, implement law, they are called executive. So Parliament can ask questions about those people who are responsible to execute the laws. Financial powers of the Parliament. So the annual budget of the central government is passed by the Parliament every year, and the government cannot impose any tax or incur any expenditure if the proposals are not approved by the Parliament. Regarding money matters, Lok Sabha is much more powerful than Rajya Sabha. The money bills can only be introduced in Lok Sabha. If Rajya Sabha makes any recommendation regarding a money bill, Lok Sabha may or may not accept it. So the Lok Sabha has more power than the Rajya Sabha in the matter of money bill, and If a money bill is passed from the Lok Sabha and it is sent to the Rajya Sabha can only withhold its with only for 14 days. If it does not respond on that matter of money bill, it will be considered passed from the Rajya Sabha automatically. Now let us see the power to amend the constitution. Regarding amendment of the constitution, both the houses enjoy equal power. Means if there is matter of constitutional amendment, both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha has equal power. An amendment bill can be introduced in either house, whether it is Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, anywhere it can be introduced, but it must be passed by each house separately. Both the houses separately should pass it. And the Constitution of India provides three methods of amending the Constitution, about which you have already seen in chapter 16. So we have already seen over there procedures to amend the Constitution. Now let us see judicial powers. So the Parliament is empowered to remove the President, the judges of the Supreme Court and the High Courts by the means of impeachment. So the procedure adopted for this purpose is called impeachment. By impeachment, the Parliament can remove President, the judges of the Supreme Court and the High Courts. For this, a resolution has to be passed by both the houses of the Parliament by a special majority, that is absolute majority of total membership and 2/3 majority of members present and voting in each house during the same session. So about this majority we have already talked in chapter 16. So this is the judicial power. And electoral functions. The members of Parliament exercise their right to vote to elect the President and Vice President of India. Means this all the elected members can participate in the election of President and Vice President of India. So that's all in this chapter. In the next video we will talk about the question answer of this chapter. So till then, keep watching. If you are liking my videos, please press on like button and subscribe my channel to get earliest notification of the new videos. Thanks, keep watching, have a nice day.